That's right. No more waiting for you to come back from your adventures. I want to get out there and do my part to help.
So I'm pretty sure you all have heard the talks about Kairi within Kingdom Hearts 3 and how to some people she was a huge disappointment. And I say this because I think these people are saying this, not me. I think these people are saying this because Kairi didn't have that huge action moment that I think a lot of fans were expecting her to have within Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, what I am going to explain here will not, of course, fill in for that action moment that I guess a lot of people wanted. So if people still feel that way, they're permitted to feel that way, in my personal opinion. But I think people misconstrue the whole concept of Kairi finally becoming a Keyblade wielder and what it was and what role she was meant to serve within Kingdom Hearts 3. So we know that Master Yen Sid knows about the prophecy of on that land shall darkness prevail and light expire. We know that he knows this prophecy because, of course, he's one of the Keyblade wielders from the very distant past around the same time as Master Xehanort. He even states, of course, that Master Xehanort, when he was in his prime, was a Keyblade wielder unlike any other Keyblade wielder. He had gifts and talents unlike any other Keyblade wielder, meaning even by the standards of the characters that he knows, meaning Sora, Riku, Mickey, he was a Keyblade wielder unlike no other, and he was strong as hell. We also know that Yen Sid spoke to Mickey about the 7 versus the 13, meaning he obviously must know in some way, form, or fashion about the prophecy of on that land shall darkness prevail and light expire, because in the book of prophecy somewhere it does mention about the 13 versus the 7. So that would mean he more than likely did know the prophecy. We just didn't know the prophecy at the time, as this was within Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, in which the prophecy wasn't, I guess you could say, thought about or written. However, Yen Sid did know about the setup of 13 versus the 7. So that would mean he more than likely knows. And I have to make that abundantly clear because when it comes to what the prophecy entails, that on that land shall darkness prevail and light expire, Yen Sid mentions at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 that it's time, Dream Drop Distance, not 3, for a new kind of Keyblade wielder, one with a special kind of power. And then it's revealed to us, the players, that this Keyblade wielder is none other than Kairi. So what Kairi is meant to do is something very special, an ability that only she has. And we do see her fulfill this role within Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, to get into the battle aspect before I get into the role that she serves, I think the battle aspect I don't see it as too much of a flaw for her character, because I feel like Kairi is going to be the lead of her very own game going forward. We know that our two boys, Sora and Riku, have made their way to some other world, potentially even another world line. This leaves only one Keyblade wielder from the Destiny trio to actually go out and protect the worlds while those two are missing. We also know that the foretellers are going to start making their moves, so of course we could see a game in which Kairi will eventually find Master Ava while going on a journey of her very own with Donald and Goofy. Potentially she may come to, of course, Disney Castle and tell Mickey that she wants to go on a journey with Donald and Goofy, or Mysterious Tower and tell Yen Sid she wants to go on a mission with Donald and Goofy to become stronger, so that way what happened to Sora never happens again. I think that that's the development that Kairi is getting within Kingdom Hearts 3 that a lot of people are missing. Tetsuya Nomura did also state within the Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimania, or in an interview, that he does want to do at least 2 projects before Kingdom Hearts 4. I believe these 2 projects will be Dream Drop Distance 2. It may not be called Dream Drop Distance 2, but we do know that there is definitely a setup for Sora and Riku to have another game solely to themselves. And then, of course, I think Kairi will be the main lead of this other game, which will be how Master Ava will get involved within, of course, Kingdom Hearts' current timeline. As we know, she does not appear with the rest of the foretellers. So, moving back to that role, now that we have that out of the way, that I think Kairi is being set up to have her very own game where she goes on her very own adventure and find her own strength that will kind of not subvert. I don't know the word for it, but I can't think of the word for it. But of course, it's going to fill in for what people expected to see out of her in Kingdom Hearts 3. As a matter of fact, I think the way she was handled in Kingdom Hearts 3 was a damn good way to handle Kairi, especially if this is the road that they're going to take. But when it comes to, of course, her role within Kingdom Hearts 3 itself. Her role was what we saw after all of the members of the Seven Guardians had fallen to the darkness. Her role was to keep Sora tethered to the real world or to the final world so that way everyone could get that second opportunity to fight the 13 Seekers. Her role was essentially rewriting their destinies. Sora may have been the character that we experienced this rewrite from, but her role was to change the destiny of the characters. Now, also when it comes to her being captured, you have to realize she was captured by none other than Xemnas. Xemnas is the same motherfucker that almost killed Sora and Riku together. He almost killed both of them. If it wasn't for Riku saving Sora, he would have got his head cut off. If it wasn't for Sora jumping in and grabbing the Way to Dawn from Riku at the point when he did, he would have gotten chopped in fucking half by Xemnas. So I don't think that it's fair to be like, I know I'm getting loud, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm actually just happy to be talking about Kingdom Hearts again, because I've been working, but I don't think it's fair to think that Kairi was somehow going to fight Xemnas and fuck Xemnas up, or Kairi was going to somehow get away from Xemnas when Sora couldn't even get away from Xemnas, niggas. Sora couldn't get away from him. Do we not remember the whole fight with Xemnas, in which of course Xemnas was able to grab Sora, throw him into the air, and then of course he also did the little thing to where he was trying to extract his heart from his body. Like, Sora couldn't even get away from Xemnas. So I don't hold it against Kairi that she wasn't able to get away from Xemnas, when Sora couldn't get away from Xemnas, when Riku couldn't get away from Xemnas, when those two characters were almost killed by Xemnas. If it had been any other character, such as Larxene, that did something like this to Kairi, I could see people's frustrations with it. But it's Xemnas. It's a form of literal Xehanort. So I think I can give it that. I can give the story that at least they felt like she was so important that none other than Xemnas, somebody at such a high level, had to actually take her away. Now, also as well, we know that Kairi is one of the 7 princesses of Heart. So when it comes to her being killed off within the Skina Severance or within the Keyblade Graveyard at the end of the game, this was also very vital and important. The reason why she needed to be killed off could be for one or two reasons. I believe the main reason is because Kairi is one of those 7 princesses of Heart, and Master Xehanort needed to at least defeat one of the 7 to actually upset the balance. If you're gonna pick one of the 7, why also not pick one of the 7 princesses of Heart who can also disrupt his plans by using their power the same way that they did in Kingdom Hearts 1? It makes sense he would get rid of one of the 7 princesses of Heart, as the 7 princesses of Heart also interrupted Ansem the Seeker of Darkness's plans. So with that being said, I think that makes perfect sense. The second reason is potentially because he wanted to kind of hurt Sora in a way that he felt he probably wouldn't be able to come back from. And Sora almost didn't come back from, of course, losing Kairi. We saw for the first time ever Sora had just simply given up after Master Xehanort had destroyed Kairi, and then of course was able to tip the balance in the favor of darkness, which allowed him to get his hands on the Keyblade after also getting his other 12 Keyblades, or other 12 no-names, to forge the X-Blade. So I think that Kairi's character role makes a lot of sense. She did a lot more than I think people are giving her credit for, and I think she did a lot more than any other character within Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, her role is almost as pivotal as Sora and the rest of the gang stopping Master Xehanort at the end of the game. Because if it wasn't for her and the new power that she had found after training to be a Keyblade wielder, after training and getting some battle experience, Sora and the rest of them would have died. If it wasn't for Yen Sid knowing that she can't be taken by the darkness, they would have died. Darkness would have prevailed and light would have expired. By the Palpu fruit that she ate with Sora, we could potentially expect that to potentially be a reason how she was able to keep Sora tethered as well. So she does play a very vital role within Kingdom Hearts 3. It may not be the role that people were expecting, but she played a vital role nonetheless. And that's better than her doing absolutely nothing, because a character that actually feels wasted within Kingdom Hearts 3 is Lee, in a sense that he finally comes back, he's finally a Keyblade wielder, he's finally done some training to wield a Keyblade, he has battle experience, but for some reason, in his first fight within the Skein of Severance, he just get completely immobilized. That's a wasted character, because he achieved none of his goals. He didn't save Roxas like he thought he would. I mean, he did get Roxas to come out of Sora, but he didn't save Roxas like he thought he would, or like we thought he would after hearing about it a couple of times. But of course, when it comes to Kairi, she did actually do something, and what she did was change the destiny of the Seven Guardians. She made it possible for destiny to be rewritten and for the Seven to conquer the darkness. So, let me know what you guys think about Kairi. Do you think that in the future, what they're setting up is that she's going to get her very own game? Because I believe this is the setup that we have. Just think about it. She tells Sora it's her turn to protect him. After failing to protect him, this seems very reminiscent to, of course, Sora wanting to protect Kairi in Kingdom Hearts 1, but after failing to protect her, of course, he went on his whole journey. He even brings this up at the very end of the game before you see the ending, in which he says, "My whole journey started the moment I lost her. Her whole journey will start the moment she lost him." That makes perfect sense. So let me know what you guys think. This has been your boy Amaziah. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming, and everything you do, don't forget to keep it A-class. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video talking about my thoughts on Kairi within Kingdom Hearts 3, and the whole consensus that Kairi was wasted potential within Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, I know it may suck that we have to wait for another game to build on setup that we got from this, but at the same time too, we do know that DLC is coming, and we may potentially finally get that battle that I think a lot of people wanted to see from her, in which I think we will probably get an episode Kairi and Lee, in which you may be able to choose either one of the characters, and depending on which character you choose, of course, you'll be able to get a fight to where you'll see an outcome in which either Kairi wins that fight or Lee wins that fight. So this has been your boy Amaziah, and peace the heck out.
What's left of me